So Pamela, what do you want to share with us today?
What I'd like to share is a process I've developed for how to think on your feet and answer tough questions in the moment. Because almost everyone at my seminars say, I have the hardest time thinking on my feet. You know, somebody asks a really challenging question, and people say, I drive off in my car, and I'm going, God, why didn't I say that? And the perfect answer comes to them later on when they're driving home. So after working with this on my own self and a lot of the seminar participants, I found so many people had a hard time that I started to study. What does it take to really think on your feet and answer tough questions in the moment? And I found that, first of all, you have to know your values. You have to know what you're all about and come from what is true for you. Like if honesty is one of my values, I gotta say to myself, what's the most honest thing I could say in this moment? The 5-step technique is, first of all, listen to the question. I know it sounds really simple, but so many times we're off in another world and we're not really thinking, we're not really present enough to listen to what the question really is. And so we're thinking about something going on in our life and then we answer the question and it's not really even what the person asked. So when I say listen to the question, I mean listen to their body language, listen to their inflection. Do they emphasize one word over another word? Because if somebody asks, so why are you a vegan? It's different if I say, why are you a vegan? Versus, why are you a vegan? You know, it's totally different. So really listen to the question. The second step is to pause and take a breath. So many people, look at this beautiful place over here. This is an excellent place to pause. Pausing will help you be proactive rather than reactive. Pausing gives you the oxygen that your brain needs to actually function properly. And if you're not pausing and taking a breath, chances are you're just reacting and you're not saying what's true for you. So pause and take a breath. And then the third step is to respond or to repeat the question. So if you ask me a question, how do you feel about your communication skills? And I listen to the question, I pause, and then I repeat back the question with the intention of really being on the same page with you. I say, so you're asking me how I feel about my communication skills. It gives me a chance to really ask myself that question. And if it's a contemplative question, it gives you that chance to be aligned with the person and ask yourself the question. And the fourth step is to respond honestly. So many of us have been trained to say what we think the other person wants to hear. And so we say, okay, if I say this answer, I'll get that or whatever. And we have all these different personas like, how can I be professional or cute or clever or whatever? What people really want is your honest answer. They want to know what you really think. And if it is a true question, they want to know your honest answer. I have done this technique with so many people, and I'll ask them a question, and you can just feel when it's real, when it's honest for them versus when it's just made up. Or maybe something they've been parroting for a long time that isn't true for them anymore. And then the fifth step is to know when to stop. So many people are uncomfortable with silence that they will answer a question and then go on and add more and more and more. And even though the people are going like this, guess what? They're not listening anymore. And you're trespassing on their space. It has now become a monologue rather than a dialogue. So if you say your answer full out and you're comfortable with it, you know when to stop. You won't dilute your power by adding more information that they didn't really want to know anyway. So that, in a nutshell, is a 5-step process. There's a lot more information on my website and in my book, Giving Voice to Your Cause. I go through this in great detail because sometimes you don't want to answer the question. You know, so this is only for those contemplative questions when you really have to think about it and give them an answer that you feel good about so that when you're driving away, you're going, yes, that's exactly what I wanted to say. And that's where the self-confidence goes up And that's where you save a lot of time, so you don't have to backtrack, and everybody is clear, and it feels good.